Help support our coverage through Amazon Prime. Get free music with Prime Music, TV, movies, and documentaries with Prime Video, and free games with Prime Gaming. For this and a whole lot more, go to PLUGHITZLive.com/prime. Well, we have our next guest here. Hello.
Hey there.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. Go ahead and introduce yourself for me.
Hey, I'm Paulie, Cleveland-based entrepreneur. I guess I'll call that who I am. I'm the business director at BioflightVR. We're a healthcare education company that uses immersive technologies like VR to train doctors, nurses, and students.
Okay. And where does VR fit into that training process?
Yeah. Well, over the past about 4 or 5 years, VR has been heavily explored as a potential tool to be used to train students, surgeons, nurses on procedures that are commonplace as well as kind of high risk. So VR can be kind of the virtual medium where you do things you would want to do in real life, except you'd be in VR.
Understood. So you could perform a surgery, for example, that doesn't have any possible side effects that way because it's all virtual.
Exactly. Precisely.
Okay. Where in the process of this product are you?
So we have a few pilots that have been launched over the past 5 years. We initially began with a grant from Facebook, and we worked with Oculus, Facebook, and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. We built a pediatric resuscitation program. So you can imagine being in this experience, patient gets rolled in on a cart and everyone's yelling at you. You got the parent freaking out. You got the nurses looking to you to make the next decision about what you have to do. And we've kind of gamified it as well. There's just a bunch of variables where you can kill the baby.
Okay.
In addition, we have a surgical procedure that we worked with Duke University on. We're actually still developing that product, but I have a demo here as well. But that product is actually a hybrid one where you actually enter the OR, where we live streamed it. We live filmed it using 360 cameras. And then we virtualize the experience. The tools are on the table, and you have to actually go through step by step and replace a shoulder.
Oh, okay. And it's all, and it's based on reality.
Oh yeah. I mean,
okay.
That's the biggest piece of our board, and the biggest linchpin for our company is having medical experts being able to advise on the development of the product.
Sure. But being able to use proper 360 filmed events, I imagine, takes it to a different level than using a true virtual environment. Being able to use that as your base for training would make it feel more real, and maybe the urgency would be maintained.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's the goal with this technology going into the future for sure. And I think as we get better with stereoscopic tools, so we can scan and have pretty exact replicas of the space and the actual live procedures, we're going to get closer to that, and it's going to be some like Ready Player One type stuff. Except I think the graphics are going to be pretty lifelike. But that's neither here nor there based on where we are at right now.
Gotcha. I've actually had the opportunity to interact with one VR and one AR medical training product in the past, but both of them used virtual things, right? They were computer renders. They were, and it felt a little video gamey. It didn't have any of the urgency, because you knew that there were no side effects. But I like the idea that you've taken on not just the idea of gamifying the concept a little bit, but also truly basing it on reality.
Right. And don't get me wrong. I mean, the hybrid experience is something that we're going to try to dive into and figure out in terms of like what the product looks like in the future. But I mean, CG animated,
definitely a place for it.
oh yeah. Well, CG animated experiences are actually surprisingly effective. So what you're talking about is fidelity. And with fidelity, I mean, with these experiences, you can replicate the physiological experience that humans would actually have in a real situation. And we actually did IRB tests with the doctors that worked on the project at Children's Hospital Los Angeles, and found that there was like, I don't remember the exact term, I should have looked at it before this, but their stress levels got up to a point where it's neither too much stress so that you don't have learning, but it's not so little stress that it doesn't kind of like excite you and put, get you to act, right? To kind of get you in that zone that you would be in if you were in the real experience. And this was like across the board, like we created a sense of urgency with that experience because, the patient would die and you would lose.
Right.
So there's a lot of room to grow in that sense. And there's a lot of good research out there that, supports these experiences' ability to train. The end goal is a cloud-based platform where you can take an Oculus and download an application and get access to world-class education from doctors around the world right then and there from their OR. And obviously packaging up those experiences and getting them deployed and streamed onto a headset from wherever you are is a big leap from where we are right now, just in terms of infrastructure, but it's coming. And you're going to have, people in Congo like signing on and just hanging out with some people in Johns Hopkins, being in the OR and being able to see exactly what's going on and expect it to do what they're doing in VR, which is the most critical thing we can think about right now, especially with limited capacity for hospitals in terms of resources, talent, instructors, and COVID.
Yeah, right. And this would give places and people that may not regularly have direct access to, like you said, world-class medical training, like Johns Hopkins. It would give them that ability to have a training session with true world-class physicians.
Yeah. I'm going to take a leap here because you're right. If we're talking about like economic equality, the future has to have tools that help us bridge barriers in time and space. We have to be able to go somewhere else to get the things we need, because wherever you live, whatever is around you is going to be the thing that determines your well-being, the quality of life that you have. And with tools like VR, we're going to be able to train people in ways that, previously were limited by the physical boundaries that exist between us. But, if we're going to solve these problems that hurt, these communities around the world that don't have the, benefit of being close to a world-class hospital or, a good institution or a university, we have to figure out a way to get these tools in the hands of those people. I preach it because I think there's not a lot of tools with as much potential as this.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a pretty exciting thing.
It's a really cool technology. It decentralizes the knowledge of, truly there are not that many world-class medical facilities in the grand scheme of the overall surface area of the earth, right? There's simply not that many. And so this helps kind of decentralize that knowledge into places that would not have had access before.
The term
simply by having internet access and an Oculus.
Right. And hopefully 5G. But no, and the term you're talking about, or the phenomena you're talking about is, in the industry, we talk about it as the democratization of education. Because at the end of the day, this is education. Getting a good doctor to be able to treat you is a result of them being able to get the education they need while also living in a place that is close enough to you. And at the end of the day, I mean, that's what it all comes down to, right? Getting information into people's brains, and why not just use a headset to upload it right into your skull?
Yeah, for sure.
It's a funny concept,
It really is.
but it's true. You're literally uploading information into your brain.
Indeed. Direct from a computer into your head.
Yeah.
So
It's a beautiful thing.
So obviously you said that we're testing this in a couple of places. What kind of time frame are you looking at for a wider rollout, and what would it take to implement this somewhere?
Well, there's a lot of things going on just with the industry and with our company right now. So I can't speak to that in depth, but I can say that hopefully in the near future, you'll be able to download it on your headset.
Very cool. Well, I really do appreciate you coming and talking about it. People are going to want to know more about this. How can they get more information?
Well, if you search our company, BioflightVR, you'll find a lot of case studies, a lot of articles. We've been featured in a ton of publications, and you can find videos of our experiences, and you'll find our website. And we're all on LinkedIn and very responsive. And we're always looking for new institutions, hospitals, universities to partner with us so that we can build great experiences.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for talking about this. It's a great technology, and I cannot wait until it's readily available.
Me too. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Have a good rest of CES.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope you enjoyed that interview, and if you did, make sure you check out some of the more than 100 interviews we conducted during the virtual CES 2021 coverage. And of course, subscribe here on YouTube, hit the notification bell to learn when we post new content and when we go live.